Well, welcome there my fellow Driftomaniacs, Richie here, and it's Richie's weekday workshop video, and there is a lot to cover in this because I've got so many mods, so many upgrades to do, it is just untrue. And also 2 new arrivals which I'm going to touch upon later on in the video. Now in this video, first of all, I'm going to talk about what cars I've got and what mods I'm going to do on them, and then as we go through the video, I'm going to try and show you them in real time so you can see like the before and the after of the mods. Anyway, lots to cover, so let's get straight down to it. And first up is my 6S Armour Infraction. That is because I have a twin fan kit from Power Hobby. I'll link to that kit below the video. To fit to this car, it's onto the Traxxas Maxx, which obviously needs a little bit of TLC and a bit of dusting, but that TLC is coming in the form of 4 steel CBD drive shafts to upgrade it. But that'll also be done and running in this video. And when that mod's done, I shall also be testing out my brand new Power Hobby belted tyres, which look awesome and are going to fit this thing like a dream. Next up are a few mods to my super cheap 6x6 crawler, including 4-wheel steering on it, 2 new servos to give it a bit of strength on that steering, and a tiny little servo so that I can operate the 2-speed gearbox remotely. And speaking of 6x6 crawlers, I've had an idea for this Traxxas TRX6, but I need your input on that one as I've got a few different options to consider on there. But more on that in just a minute. Rivals this week, we've got the Traxxas Fiesta ST Rally. This is the Valentino Rossi special edition on there, and I've already got a few upgrade parts to go on there, but I'm going to talk you through all my plans for that, which are quite... If you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. And so on to the Armour Infraction. Well, at $21.99, the Power Hobby twin fan setup, or twin turbo fan setup on there, because they are turbo fans, has to be my bargain of the week. They're absolutely brilliant. They keep the thing a full 11 degrees cooler after a 3-minute test run than without the fans on there. Very, very well engineered indeed. It's held on by 4 screws to either side of the motor can, and there's like a part that goes around the back of the motor so that is not going anywhere in a hurry. So that's definitely my purchase of the week, that particular item, as it is around half the price of the Racing twin turbo fan setup. There's a link to them below the video, or JJ Customs do have them in stock as well, so highly recommended, and I shall be fitting those on my other 1/8 scale cars. Well, I've got the CBD shafts fitted to the Traxxas Maxx all round, and I have to say they are seriously good in terms of quality of the part. Very well engineered indeed. However, whilst I was going to test it in this video on the Power Hobby belted tyres, I did have a slight mishap the other day when I was out with John from Fog City, where I landed rather badly like this, resulting in this damage here. Now, before people go sort of slagging Traxxas off or anything, the car had taken about 15 heavy landings, which I think probably damaged it earlier on. But more to the point, this part here, really, really expensive. They're $6 a pair, so that part there costs just $3 to repair. So I'm not too worried by that at all. Now moving on to the 6x6 HGP 601 crawler I got from Banggood. This is yours for around about 160 bucks. I've been a busy little boy upgrading it. I've fed new shocks to the 4 corners at the rear, so to speak. But more to the point, I've got a Raystar 20 kilo servo on the back of the car. Have a think about that in a second, guys. And Raystar 25 kilo servo fitted on the front of the cars, and I will do a quick demonstration of this as they are absolutely outstanding at holding the thing online. With the stock servo, the steering was getting kicked around quite a lot, but right now you might be thinking 1 servo on the front, 1 servo on the back. That means this 6-wheel crawler is actually 4-wheel steer, because we've now got steering on the rear as well as the steering at the front. Other additions to the car: we have got a little servo attached on here. And what is that attached to? That's attached to the high-low 2-speed gearbox, because as standard, this car comes with a 2-speed gearbox. But unless you fit this servo, you have to manually flick the gear between low and high. But now yours truly can do it from the transmitter. And if people would like me to cover all the mods on this car and what it's cost so far, quite happy to do a video on that. And I've got some metal side rails which have just come in yesterday afternoon, which I shall be fitting to the car over the holiday. Anyway, I'll put a link to this truck and all the kit I've put on it so far below the video. But more to the point, let me get a battery and let me go and show you exactly what this thing is now capable of. Now, for that rear wheel steer, I've got it set up on a dial so you can adjust it like that and flex it around and steer independently on there. So if you're stuck on rocks, so if you're trying to negotiate the back end of a car around without moving the front end, you can do like that. A little bit of shake in the back there, but not moving that and not moving backwards. So a little bit of shake, a little bit of something to iron out on there. First time I've run it though. Now this is the rear wheel steer on the car working, and with that set on its own, dramatic shorten the steering radius on there. A little bit of work. There's one of those back wheels is wobbling a bit too much for my liking, but these things are sent to testers. Turning that rear wheel back, the other option you've got on here, by having it independently from the front set rather than the front and rear moving at the same time, is you can get it to go like this, and you could get it to maybe creep up a hill. So if you see, it's almost going sideways like a crab there. Anyway, it is coming together. A few little wrinkles to iron out. This is the first time I've actually test run it around. It's in front of you people here, so certainly need to work on that, taking that flex out of the back. But the fact I can now change the gear remotely is showing potential. Need to eliminate that flex steer on the back, but I think that's more the plastic moving than it is the actual steering servo, because the steering servo I fit at the front, the 25 kilo one, simply eliminated all bump steer on here. So I highly recommend both of these servos. I think they're about 10, 12 bucks a piece on Banggood. Link to them below the video though. If people would like, I will do a full review of all of the mods that I've done on this car so far, because I'm getting that steering fixed over the Thanksgiving holiday. So if people would like to see that, then do have your say in the comment section below the video. Well, moving on swiftly to the Traxxas TRX6. So the one thing I did say I could do with you giving me a hand on. Now, it has got a Castle Creations Mamba X in there at the minute with a 4600 kV brushless motor. I've been playing around with it, a little bit of testing, not entirely happy with it, trying different gears on it, etc. So I have a few options, because one of the things that happens is when I try and push it too hard, the ESC gets very warm very quickly and cuts out. So one option I've got is to fit this Castle Sidewinder 8. So do have your say if you think I should do that. Now we've got different motor options. Could go down the Traxxas Valentino route, 3,500 kV brushless motor on there, but then I think that's a bit like same old, fitting that's a bit like cliched to it. My other option is to fit this Castle 2,850 kV motor to it with its little fan on top to help keep things a little bit cooler, and maybe either run that with the Sidewinder 8 or with the Mamba X. But again, I've got issues with the Mamba X getting a little bit too warm, particularly when you start putting more than 3S power through it. And I'm working hard on this because I've got a cracking idea for a future video in mind featuring this car when it's running a little bit faster, that is. So have your say in the comment section below this video. Which kind of combination would you like to see running on there? What do you think could work well? And maybe tell me why. So that's a couple of combinations there that I've got in mind. However, there is a big one to consider. Fitted to my Traxxas Vortec at the minute, which is so fast, it is just up there with a plain ridiculous. I'm struggling to find anywhere long enough to run the thing. This has got the motor and the ESC setup that would be fitted to a 4S Armour car, so something like 4S Kraton or a 4S Outcast is powering this at the minute. But bear in mind that probably weighs about like 3.5 pounds, something like that. So it's quite an excess of power in there. That, I have measured it, will squeeze in with about 1 millimetre to spare in the TRX6, and I could then run that on 4S on the maximum gearing. So that might give you an idea which way I can either like a push in one direction or the other, but you might gather which way I'm being swayed on that, because I have no problem at all mixing the one manufacturer's power plant with another to get the end result that I'm after. Anyway, let's move on to my new arrivals, and the first of which is my Traxxas Fiesta ST Rally Valentino Rossi edition. I had a Traxxas Fiesta Rally previously before, modified it, and it was the best handling, not the fastest car I've got, but the best handling car I'd got. It had like an absolute dream on there, but it was rotating the fleet and something had to go, so I sold the Rally, and within a week I was missing it, and I've been missing it ever since. So I've got this, and I'm going to do pretty much the same series of mods to this, but this time I want to fit a more serious power plant, maybe something that's based on a 4S setup on there. So keep your eyes open for what's coming with this one. I will do a full unboxing of that in the next few days. More to the point, let's move on to number 2 of my new arrivals, which I am just loving so much. And that is the wltoys 144001 from Banggood. I just cannot get over how good this thing is for the money. Looking at it, you close up, you'd be thinking it was something like made by like a Rossi or a Mini 8 as an example on there, with the adjustable shocks, the adjustable suspension, metal fronts all round. The thing, it goes like an absolute rocket. If anybody missed the speed run video of it the other day, watch it, because on 3S this thing is just a firecracker. But yours truly has figured out a way to be able to alter the pinion size at the back, because the problem with this car is people have tried to make it go faster, but they've not been able to fit bigger pinions to the back of the car. But yours truly, I think, fingers crossed, we'll know later tonight whether it's cured that problem, and we'll be able to fit a bigger pinion to it to make it go even quicker. As ever, all comments and questions welcomed in the comment section below the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you love it, don't forget to subscribe. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.